Now, the kinds of benefits you're going to be offered can sometimes depend on the form of employment you'll have. So we'll wrap up the unit by learning about all of those, as well as how to adapt when you need to change jobs. Hey, speaking of jobs, do you know what kind of career you want to have? If you're interested in finding out more about what kinds of jobs are out there, might I suggest taking Mia Prep's Career Exploration course? I co-teach that with Caroline, so you know you'd be in good hands. Or if you want a more instantaneous measure of what kinds of jobs you might enjoy, you could always try searching for a free career aptitude test online. Either way, by the end of this unit, you are going to be more than prepared for whatever jobs, income, or benefits you'll be getting in the future. And you'll know what a good job offer looks like when you see one. See you again next time. Hi, welcome to our job fair. Here's a list of all the different career opportunities we have for you today.
So we'll go right into the types of streams of income, first starting with active streams.
Let's work through this fraction together.
You probably already know that most people work to make money in a variety of jobs. Pretty much everybody that you meet when you're out and about will be working to save up money to pay their bills. But did you know that there's a ton of other ways to make money besides clocking into a job every day? Musicians get paid anytime their music is played on the radio. Landlords make money by letting others use their property. And investors make money simply by making smart predictions. And the best part is, you are not limited to just one way of making money at a time. Keeping track of multiple different streams of income sounds intimidating, but here's the deal. The more income streams you have, the more money will be flowing into your bank account. Most of the richest people in the world have 2 or 3 different streams of income, some even more than that. Why don't I teach you about how all the different kinds of income streams work? I could teach you about earned income, profit income, royalties income, interest income, dividend income, rental income, and capital gains income. See, I told you there was a lot of different possible streams for you. In fact, there's so many that it's going to take us multiple lessons to cover all of these. In this lesson, first you'll learn the difference between active and passive streams of income. Then we'll focus on the streams of active income, earned income, and profit income. Passive income also comes in a lot of forms, which you'll learn about in the next lesson. Let's get into it. It's important to understand that there are 2 different categories of income streams: active income and passive income. This video will be focusing on active income streams, but don't miss out on the sequel, passive streams of income, coming to a lesson near you. Active income is income received for performing time-consuming tasks. Basically, think of active income as any form of income that is tied to your presence at work. It requires you to be actively working. And if you aren't going to work, then you don't get paid. For example, let's say that you work a job for 40 hours a week at $17 an hour. If you wanted to miss half a day of work, say to get to a dentist appointment or something, then you would miss half a day's worth of income. If you wanted to make that income, you would have to trade in half of one of your vacation days to make up for the time you missed. Passive income, on the other hand, is money you earn without actually having to show up and do anything. It sounds really nice, but passive income is difficult to make a living off of because it usually requires you to invest a massive amount of money or effort just to get started. If you want to start earning passive income, here's the game plan that most people follow. Work to earn active income for years, saving money as you go, and then once you have enough saved up, you can use it to invest in a new passive stream of income. Now that you're making more money, you'll be able to save quicker until until you've got enough to invest in a third stream of income. Some people are able to invest in enough passive income streams that they can quit earning active income entirely. Early retirement, that's my goal. Both active and passive income come in many different forms. There are two main forms of active income: earned income and profit income. Earned income is a bit of a misnomer. I'm sure people with other types of income don't take too kindly to the implication that their income is not earned. You may know earned income by a different name: working. When we say earned income, what we mean is that it's been earned as a reward for showing up to your place of work and providing some service. Earned income itself takes many different forms. You'll learn about the differences between salary, wages, commissions, and tips in a future lesson. So if you're curious, check that out after you finish this lesson. But while we're on the subject of working to make an income, aren't we forgetting about someone? If earned income is what workers make, what about their boss, the owner of the business? Business owners spend their working hours running their establishment, and at the end of the day, they gather up all the revenue, the money that was taken in by the business. Some of that revenue has to go towards business expenses, like paying for the building lease, buying supplies, and of course, paying the workers their earned income. After all those business expenses are paid, well, it's kind of like when you have money left over after paying all your bills. They get to keep it. That leftover revenue after paying for business expenses is called profit. And that's why a business owner's income is known as profit income. This applies to pretty much any business owner, no matter how big or small. From the CEO of a multinational clothing franchise to the owner of a small town mom and pop restaurant, or even to a 10-year-old making and selling bracelets in the school cafeteria. All three of these people receive the revenue from their business's services, use some of it to pay for business expenses, and then pocket the rest as profit income. Many people's first step to success is graduating from earned income as a worker to profit income as the boss. However, this comes with risks. We've all heard stories of failed businesses and bankrupted owners. If you're looking to own your own business, make sure to do your research, plan carefully, and have a backup plan so this doesn't happen to you. Earned income and profit income can both take a lot of time and effort, but not all income streams are so time-consuming. In our next lesson, we're going to be talking about all the different kinds of passive income streams. If you're interested in making money without having to work endlessly for it, you're going to want to take some good notes on this one. See you then.
So I agree with what he says there, that when you have income as the boss, it's called profit income, but that doesn't necessarily mean it isn't earned income. A boss has to do a lot of work too, particularly with making sure that all of the bills are paid, that anything that is broken or needs fixing in the business is fixed. To make sure that there are accommodations as necessary for the employees. The boss has to oversee a lot, and so the boss has most certainly earned that profit income. Let's go to passive streams of income next.
Are you driven by purpose? Do you have expertise to share?
Have you ever wished that you could just make money without actually having to do anything? Just sit back and watch as the cash hits your bank account. Well, in reality, it's never that simple. Most of the time, no one's going to give you any money without you investing anything first. Even if you were to try counterfeiting money, you'd have to buy a printer, paper, and ink. Plus, if you got caught, you go to prison. Does not seem worth it to me. I'd rather buy a nice big money tree. But even if money trees were real, I'd still need to buy the seeds, the water, and the lands to plant them on. Plus, I'd have to wait for the tree to grow, and that could take forever. Most passive streams of income are similar. It takes time and money to get them going, but in the end, they can pay off extremely well. In the last lesson, you learned about the two main active streams of income, earned income and profit income. In this video, you'll learn about the different passive streams of income, royalty income, interest income, dividend income, capital gains income, and rental income. By the end of it, you'll hopefully have a few ideas for some of the types of income you'll be working towards in the future. Let's get into it. Aside from earned income and profit income, there's actually a third type of income that comes from providing a good or service. Our first type of passive income stream is royalty income. No, not that kind of royalty. No, not that kind either. Royalties are small fees creators receive when somebody uses their copyrighted or patented work. Most people know about royalties from musicians. A musician creates music, which a record label then licenses and sells. Anytime a radio station wants to play one of those songs, or TV producers want to feature the song on a show, they pay the record company, and a portion of that profit goes to the songwriter. That amount the songwriter got because somebody wanted to use the music they wrote is royalty income. Other professions receive royalty income too, oftentimes for years and years afterwards. Authors receive royalties from their books being sold. Actors receive royalties called residuals when a movie they're in is licensed to a TV station or streaming service. And inventors receive royalties anytime their invention is used to make somebody else's product work. So, if you plan on becoming any sort of creator, whether you're creating art, media, or technology, you'll probably, at least partially, rely on royalty income, in addition to whatever earned income you're making from, well, creating whatever it is you're creating. The next form of passive income is one that anyone with a savings account receives, interest income, or income gained as interest from loaning money to other people or institutions. Remember what we discovered in a previous unit. While it's true that savings accounts will give you some interest, they usually don't make much. 13 cents a month isn't exactly enough for me to make a living off of. But there are other ways to make interest. You could use a high-yield savings account, which are savings accounts that offer much higher interest rates at the cost of a much steeper penalty for withdrawing money. Or you can invest in government bonds, which we'll go into in more detail in our unit on investing. You could even make interest by lending out money to people, but you probably wouldn't make much very quickly because interest rates for loans are extremely competitive. To put it simply, interest income is more of a slow trickle than a stream. And unless you're investing massive amounts of money into it, you're probably not going to make much out of it. In fact, the tax form you use to report interest income, known as a 1099 INT, is supposed to be used if you've made more than $10 a year from interest. And most people don't even know it exists because they've never had to use it. That's how hard it is to make anything off of interest income. If you're looking to get a little more bang for your buck on investments, you might be interested in earning dividend income. This is similar to interest income, but it comes from making investments in the stock market. The trouble with dividends is that those stock investments might not always be smart investments. Sure, if the company you invest in has a really great year, you stand to gain a ton of money. But if the company doesn't do too well, you could actually lose it. That's just the risk of the stock market. Of course, instead of holding on to the stock, you could always try to sell it before its value dips too low and you lose too much of your investment. Capital gains income is income from selling an asset for more than you bought it for, whether it be an investment or personal property like a car or a house. Capital gains tend to rack up huge returns, but that's after you've already spent a ton of money acquiring the assets in the first place. In general, capital gains income tends to be more of a sudden flood of cash rather than a steady stream. If you'd rather have assets that give you a steady stream of passive income, you might do better with rental income. Rental income is income obtained from renting out your property to other people. Landlords take property that they own, whether it be single houses, apartment buildings, or entire skyscrapers full of office space, and allow others to pay rent in order to use that property. Some of that revenue will be used to pay typical homeowner expenses, such as maintenance and repairs, but the rest goes into the landlord's pocket as rental income.
Question. Would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million?
Like with many passive income streams, before you can start raking in the money, you gotta spend some of it. In the case of rental income, it's kind of hard to rent out a property if you don't own any property. Before you can start making rental income, you have to have and spend enough money to buy property to rent out. On the plus side, once you do start making that rental income, you can use it to buy more property, to make even more rental income. Just don't go buying up all the property in town. It runs prospective homeowners the wrong way if there's no more homes left to own. Not all income streams are the same. Some bring steady flows of money, like earned income and rental income. Others, including interest income and royalty income, are more of a slow trickle. And sometimes you just get a huge flood of wealth all at once from capital gains income. The key is diversifying your income, or having income that comes from multiple different streams at the same time. Lots of people invest their savings while they work so that their money can grow quicker and they can eventually stop working. That's what people mean when they refer to their retirement account. Others turn their hobbies into streams of revenue, like people teaching music lessons. Some even take the plunge into the more expensive streams by pooling their money with friends and family. Then the profits are split between everyone that contributed, so they'll all get a second stream of income. What kinds of income streams do you think you'll have in the future? Maybe you should make a plan for when you'll invest in different kinds of income. For me personally, I think my next step is royalty income. Just as soon as I get cast as a big role in a movie. A lot of us will rely on earned income for most of our lives. But there's a lot of different ways you can be compensated for your work. Will you be paid an hourly wage or a yearly salary? Will you earn more through differentials or commissions or just tips and bonuses? In the next lesson, we're going to compare the benefits and drawbacks of all the different kinds of compensation your employers might offer you. See you then.